Get ready to scream, because the Twisted Games are back. Lionsgate and Twisted Pictures are unleashing the 10th installment of the Saw franchise, aptly named Saw 10. And this time, we're taken back in time to the earlier days. With Tobin Bell's return, we knew this one would be connected to the early chapters, but the just-released synopsis finally spills the beans on exactly when this nightmare is set. The horror is about to unfold once again this September, and we're here with everything you need to know about the movie. Saw 10 reveals a brand new part of John Kramer's life that we didn't know before. It's set between Saw 1 and Saw 2. The movie continues right after the events of the first gruesome game that introduced us to Jigsaw's sickening methods. After the bathroom trap, Kramer's been dealing with his terminal cancer, but he's not giving up hope just yet. He believes there might be a cure out there, so he takes a chance and heads to Mexico for a risky experimental procedure that costs him $250,000. However, things don't go as planned. Turns out, the procedure is a scam that preys on vulnerable people. Kramer, being the twisted guy that he is, changes his plans and dishes out his own version of justice once again. Let us remind you of Jigsaw's origin story to give you some context here. He was diagnosed with cancer, leaving him to lose hope in life. However, a car accident forced him into a situation where he had to make a life or death decision. He chose to survive, which gave him a newfound purpose and meaning. Now he dedicates himself to teaching others not to take their lives for granted. In the trailer for Saw 10, we witness different individuals who were part of a scam being subjected to torture. These include the doctor who recommended the treatment to Jigsaw, the person who falsely claimed the treatment cured him, and other fake doctors pretending to perform surgeries on Kramer. In one of the revealed traps shown in the trailer, a person's eyes are connected to tubes. They've given a choice between breaking all their fingers or allowing the tubes to suck out their eyeballs. The trailer briefly displays the person's fingers breaking before time runs out. Another trap, called brain surgery, involves a person named Mateo, who is a doctor pretending to perform brain surgery. In this trap, Mateo must perform brain surgery on himself, cutting off a piece of his head heavy enough to deactivate the trap he's in. All of these traps are described as sadistic and reminiscent of classic Saw traps, adding to the suspense and horror of the film. The Saw series started back in 2004, starring Cary Elwes and Leigh Whannell as the first victims of the infamous Jigsaw killer. They wake up in a dilapidated bathroom, with chains shackling them to opposite ends of the room, and then they soon discover that they're pawns in a sadistic game orchestrated by the notorious serial killer known as Jigsaw. To survive, they must follow clues and confront their dark secrets while detectives Tap and Sing relentlessly pursue Jigsaw to end his reign of terror. As the clock ticks down, the men must make decisions that push the boundaries of morality and survival. The majority of the film is set inside a dimly lit, decrepit bathroom, a grim and claustrophobic environment that intensifies the sense of entrapment and despair. The bathroom is rigged with various traps and clues set up by Jigsaw, creating a chilling and tense atmosphere as the characters struggle to survive the deadly puzzle. Interspersed with flashbacks, the story also takes place in other locations where Jigsaw has carried out his sadistic games, offering glimpses into his twisted mind and motivations. Saw 2 picks up where the first film left off, introducing us to a new group of 8 victims who find themselves trapped in an abandoned, run-down house. The house is rigged with various deadly traps and puzzles designed to test the victims' will to survive. Jigsaw informs them that they are all connected to Eric, and they must confront their sins and work together to survive. As the group struggles to navigate the deadly traps, Detective Matthews races against time to find and save them. Meanwhile, another group of investigators, including Detective Allison Carey and FBI agent Peter Strom, works to uncover Jigsaw's identity and motives. The film is a thrilling and gruesome battle of wits as the victims' secrets are exposed, and they must face the horrifying consequences of their actions. Saw 3 continues the twisted story of Jigsaw and his deadly games. This time, the focus is on Jeff Denlon, a grieving father whose son was killed in a car accident. Jigsaw, who is terminally ill, kidnaps Jeff and forces him to navigate a series of horrifying tests related to his unsolved grief and anger. Jeff must face individuals who played a role in his son's death and decide their fates, leading to gut-wrenching moral dilemmas. Meanwhile, Amanda Young, a survivor of Jigsaw's previous game, is tasked with keeping him alive, but her commitment is tested as Jigsaw's health deteriorates. The film unravels the mystery of Amanda's relationship with Jigsaw and the dark secrets behind her involvement in his gruesome games. Saw 4 continues the twisted saga of Jigsaw, even after his death in the previous film. The story centers around the investigation of Detective Hoffman, who is revealed to be Jigsaw's secret apprentice. After Jigsaw's death, Hoffman continues his gruesome work, setting up a new series of traps and puzzles to test the moral fiber of his victims. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Rigg, who was introduced in Saw 3, becomes the primary focus of the game. He's placed in a race against time to rescue his missing friend, Detective Matthews, and face his own personal demons. As the deadly game unfolds, connections to past characters and events are revealed, creating a complex web of deception and revenge. Then comes Saw 5. It continues the dark, twisted story of the Jigsaw killer's legacy. The film follows the investigation led by FBI agent Peter Strahm, who becomes obsessed with uncovering the truth behind Jigsaw's games and the identity of his accomplices. As Strahm delves deeper into the twisted world of Jigsaw, he starts to find a complex web of fraud and betrayal. Simultaneously, a group of individuals find themselves in dark and ominous locations, each with their unique challenges designed to test their morality. The film also continues to explore the backstory of Jigsaw and his accomplices, taking the audience back to previous films, events, and locations. The setting is filled with tension and suspense, as the characters must navigate through deadly puzzles and traps to uncover the truth behind Jigsaw's sadistic legacy. Saw 6 further explores the twisted tale of the serial killer and his legacy of deadly games. The film centers around a new game orchestrated by Detective Mark Hoffman, the secret apprentice of the deceased Jigsaw. In this game, Hoffman targets a group of individuals connected to an insurance company responsible for denying coverage to a man who later died. The victims must confront their own selfish actions and decide who among them deserves to live. As the game unfolds, the film also delves into the backstory of Detective Hoffman, revealing his involvement with Jigsaw and the extent of his sinister activities. Meanwhile, FBI agent Peter Strahm remains determined to uncover the truth behind Jigsaw's legacy, leading him to make shocking discoveries. And then comes Saw 3D, or Saw 7, if you will. It takes place immediately after the events of Saw 6, and follows the aftermath of Detective Hoffman's deadly games. As the Jigsaw killer's secret apprentice, Hoffman continues his sadistic legacy, targeting not only his victims, but also anyone who stands in his way. The film centers around a new group of victims who find themselves in the middle of a series of horrifying traps and challenges. Meanwhile, survivor Bobby Dakin, who has profited from his supposed ordeal with Jigsaw, becomes a prominent figure, claiming to be a survivor of one of Jigsaw's games. However, his deceit attracts the attention of Hoffman, who seeks to teach him a brutal lesson about honesty and paying for one's sins. As the deadly games escalate, Hoffman's actions draw the attention of the police, including Detective Matt Gibson and his team, who were determined to put an end to the Jigsaw killer's reign of terror. After Saw 3D, it took the franchise 7 years to release another installment, and it came out as The Jigsaw. The film cover features Billy the Puppet, front and center. Billy's known for his chilling appearance, with a white face, red spirals on his cheeks, a black bow tie, and that sinister grin. The film is set 10 years after the death of the infamous killer, John Kramer. As always, a series of gruesome murders takes place, bearing the same trademark modus operandi as Jigsaw's deadly games. This reignites the belief that Jigsaw is still alive and carrying out his sadistic games. A new investigation ensues, led by Detective Halloran and Detective Hunt, as they attempt to unravel the mystery behind the killings. As the body count rises, suspicion falls on several individuals with possible connections to the original Jigsaw case. The film also introduces a group of new victims who find themselves trapped in a remote barn subjected to a series of Jigsaw-like traps. As the puzzles unfold, the victims must confront their dark secrets and work together to escape their horrific fate. The story intertwines the present-day investigation and the deadly game with flashbacks to John Kramer's life, offering insights into the origins and motivations of the Jigsaw killer. Lastly, we have the 9th installment of the franchise, known as Spiral. It takes place in the same universe as the Saw series, but features a new storyline with different characters. The film follows Detective Ezekiel, Zeke Banks, played by Chris Rock, and his rookie partner, William Shank. Zeke Banks becomes embroiled in a new series of gruesome murders, where the killer targets corrupt police officers. The murders bear a striking resemblance to the work of the infamous Jigsaw killer, leading the police to believe that a copycat is on the loose. As Zeke and William investigate the case, they uncover a dark secret and realize that the killer is systematically eliminating those whom he deems unworthy or immoral. The victims are once again subjected to sadistic traps that force them to confront their sins and make deadly decisions to survive. That's all in the Saw series for now. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more horror content. Until next time, keep your lights on and your doors locked.